back again, another live stream. Let me see if everything is working. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's good to hear, Gert. Good to hear that the sound and videos are okay. Today we have the subject BLUE-3 again. And there's always much to tell about it. And this is one of the sequenced presets. And I really like it in combination with the beat. Well, this one uses the sequencer, and if you are using BLUE-3, if the sequencer or the arpeggiator is active, you have a little dot appearing. That means that it's activated. And the sequencer also offers wave sequencing. If you go to the sequencer page, you have two views. The edit view can be normal or wave. And you see once wave is selected, you can see that the 6 oscillators, you have the option to change the waveform. So let me see what is happening here, because it should be. Yeah, here see oscillator 3 gets waveform 541 tabla. Then it gets on step 4 tube skin, and then for hysteria on step 5. So let's play the oscillator 3 solo. And you see the bass waveform is sinus waveform. So essentially, if there is no other waveform selected here in oscillator 3, it plays the waveform which is selected in this screen. So then it's called set, means that, sorry, oscillator 3 set means that it's using the set oscillator waveform, which in this case is sinus waveform. So if I change that here, so I picked here the sinus waveform because that one blends in nice with the samples used. And it's with oscillator 3, and what you can do is use here plus and minus, use a different waveform, so you can go good. Or you pick the list, and then you can pick one of the many samples. And each oscillator can have its own waveform set. And normally when I create a preset, what I do, I first make the first 16 steps, and then I use commands to copy steps 1 to 16 up to step 17 to 32. Of course, if you have a 3/4 music or 6/8, that's a little bit odd, but yeah, you still can use it. We did with the RG, also additional menu, which I think it's nice to have here, that you can do a step selecting. So if you have 6/8, you want to maybe copy step 1 to 12 to the other steps. It's pretty much 2/4 from bass, but so in the sequencer bank, it is sequence 1. Let's see, order by date. What's all going on? Sequence here. Normal view. And then in the normal view, you have the velocity, you can change the pitch. It's really a classic sequence in that perspective, that you can have a melody playing monophonic. It's like an old style sequencer, but it has some additional features, which is that you can select a different step. Okay. But today, the subject is about BLUE-3. It's essentially the initial start, because therefore you see 6 oscillators. Was the idea to go FM synthesis, but then beyond the traditional FM synthesis. So there's no way you can load a DX7 sound or whatever. And if we go to a default preset, so I go to the introduction bank, default preset. You see here down we have the algorithm. The algorithm is essentially how these 6 oscillators can connect to each other or going to an output. See down here, it's out, everything goes out, which means that you can use 6 oscillators going to, for instance, the filter. So each oscillator you see have a destination where you can select then one of the many outputs, filter 1, filter 2, filter 1 and 2, or directly into the FX. Or to all FX. So there's a very sophisticated routing already possible if you have all the 6 oscillators going out. Now down here we have some algorithms, and you can see, for instance, here 3 goes to 6. So 3 isn't going out, and if you go to oscillator 3, you can see that it goes to oscillator 6. So the destination is set to oscillator 6. And then if I put on oscillator 6, it does essentially what I call FM synthesis with each essentially wave shape of phase modulation. So I put this on, and then the oscillator 2 modulates oscillator 6. Go too hard, and then you hear this typical thing with the FM modulation. Well, FM synthesis is getting exciting because each oscillator has its own volume control. Because now I'm doing a static modulation. I can change the pitch. But it gets exciting in the original FM synthesis mode, that each oscillator has its own volume envelope. Now, well, if you go to oscillator 3, you see the amount of the volume oscillator is 0. I need to open it, and then I can use this. And then I have essentially volume control. And then, of course, you need to have the right volume. Oh, sorry. And therefore, we also have velocity here, so that you can control velocity already with the modulating. Yeah, I already have a little FM bass. Oh, is it square? And you see how much it changes this. So the modulation by the other oscillator, which is in this case oscillator 3, to the oscillator 6 makes that you get some, instead of a very boring sinus waveform, you get a very interesting sound, even with 2 oscillators. And of course, you can go far more complex. By the way, this icon here makes that you can switch very fast to the other envelope. So you see this envelope type here? If I click here on 3, I don't have to go down here to envelopes and pick the oscillator. I simply click on this one. The same goes here with the envelope, by the way. If I click on this one, directly go to filter 1 envelope, or click here, I go directly to filter 2 envelope. So these are little things maybe you didn't notice, but they are handy if you're working with the products. Okay, let me see. I see already some people in the chat room. Everybody, welcome. We talk about BLUE-3 and FM synthesis and why BLUE-3 is different from any FM synthesizer. So we see also a question. Yeah, we have every product VST3 compatible. So even the older ones, so even BLUE-2 and even BLUE-1, even Subboom Base 1 is VST3. So yeah, Cubase did throw out the VST2, and it's only supporting VST3. Yeah, that's correctly. Only it's important that you run the latest installer of our software and pick and of course select VST3 during install. I'm still on Cubase 13 currently, but I need to update also. So this is only with 2 oscillators per picture. If you have then more complex algorithms, and essentially a DX7 is 6 of these oscillators with sinus waveforms in various algorithms modulating each other, and each oscillator has its own envelope. That is the basic FM synthesis, or eventually I should say phase distortion, because that is what is happening. So you have more complex things, and my idea was, well, it's nice to do an FM synthesizer, but as you know, I'm not into reproducing classics, because I would found that too boring. I always look for new challenges, and we have software synthesizers. We have a lot of options, far more options compared to hardware. So, and that's what we did with the original Blue. We already started by adding analog modeled filters to the FM synthesis. So if I go back here to this bass or this sound, okay, I need to go back to the right algorithm. So if I have this one, I can still send then oscillator 6, which goes to the dry out, to filter 1, and pick there M24 dB ladder filter. I'll make use resonance. Of course, this one can also go to okay. Okay, why don't I hear it? Yeah, you hear the the resonance is not that much because it goes too much down. So I also could say don't use the oscillator 3, bring that on. Okay, something dropped. So you can use a filter inside a FM setup, or even different filters, even the vowel filter. Is the yeah, plenty of options. So that was essentially Blue, the first Blue one, where we combined FF synthesis together with the cool things of subtractive. Therefore, you also have not only a sinus waveform, but also other waveforms in the original Blue. And later on in BLUE-2, we combine that with samples, and BLUE-3 even goes beyond, has a string model, essentially has various waveforms conjunct together. One of the good examples I always use to show with the original Blue, see, this one, because originally, this is a very nice sound. Nice FM sound. It uses 3 oscillators. But what is different with this FM type sound compared to a original DX7, for instance? Well, the difference is in the mod matrix, where you can see the multi-envelope, so it has a multi-envelope, changes also the pitch of an oscillator. So the original FM synthesizer only had a volume control on the operators, no pitch control. So you can add some additional punch to it. So this is, here I can do bypass. You see, now it's without the pitch modulation on oscillator 3. Still percussive. But by adding this little pitch envelope to this oscillator 3, it adds even and more plucky to the sound. You hear the difference? So this is the multi-envelope one. If I go, let me see. So it really adds the percussive part to the sound. So click the original. So that's also a feature which is not in the original FM synthesis, that each oscillator can have also a pitch envelope on it. Then, of course, what we did is in BLUE-2, we added the combination that you also can add samples. So I think there should be this one, Ma'owu Female Sunset. That one combines the sound you just heard together with a very nice Vox sample. And then you get this sound. Essentially, you have a DX7 Plus matched with a nice sampler. So it's really about synthesis, and there are even more variations on this sound, where it is combined with, let me see if in the R bank it should be, I think, Vox. So, and then we added more samples, Taiko. And this one uses little FM setup, oscillator 4 and 5. C4 modulates 5. Even could put number 3 to it. And then on top we put a tuned Taiko. So the synthesis options are totally insane. If you love to do some deep synthesis stuff, BLUE-3 is really a synth that offers a lot of cool stuff and even be pretty user-friendly. So you see also here the light goes up for the aperturator. As mentioned before, if you want to go fast to an envelope, click on the icon in oscillator 3. I go to the oscillator 3, the 4. I can go to the Taiko, which you see the Taiko doesn't have its own it has its own volume envelope active, but it has no different settings, so it's still pretty flat. Okay, checking the chat room. Everybody welcome. So yeah, we could if you would see BLUE-1, of course it has the original Blue has only one screen size. So but it's handy that you still can load Blue because of the older songs you maybe created by using Blue. So if I add track, you see in Synth VST3 I have Blue. Okay, Blue. And then I can open Blue. And you see how small it is. Well, this is 100% version, and I use with BLUE-3 150%. Of course, I have a bigger screen. I have a wide screen, which is 3,300 versus 1,400 something. And but you see, it's still pretty close to the original concept. You can still use it, and many of the presets are, of course, for instance, like Fifth Element. That sound you can still find. I think it's in the introduction bank. Fifth Element. Yeah. But then combined with a sleigh bell. This one is combined with a sample. So, okay. No, wrong one. Yeah, Blue is very deep. Yeah, you also must say that it's the also very often a starting point, because if you use BLUE-3, sometimes you think, okay, nice sound, but just switch off one of the oscillators and see how that sounds. And maybe this is the sound you needed in your song. Or in combination. So that's also the fun part of BLUE-3. Switching on off oscillators or pick a different waveform. So it not necessarily always have to go deep in creating presets. Pizzicato are the sounds which are in the BLUE-3. And of course you can load in your own samples, which is of course advanced things to do. Yeah, I think most people of BLUE-3 using the many top presets maybe tweak a little bit about it. But so we started with the FM synthesis, which is inside of it. You can throw it into a filter. But what some maybe don't know, if I go back to the manager and to the introduction bank and the default preset, that it has also something which you can see in quad or in raw, or in the future raw 2, which is, if you go to an oscillator, you see here we have some additional features. We can have phase distortion and wave shaping. Ooh, if I select this here and go to this page, I can add it here, but I need to open it, of course. So I also can use wave shaping, or, well, sorry, this was wave shaping. And phase distortion on the waveform. That was already in BLUE-1, by the way. So also in BLUE-2, BLUE-3. But that's also inside of it. So if you to shape, it's phase distortion, wave shaping. And here's the amount control. And of course, you might think, is this possible on a sample? Yeah, let's give it a try. Same reason it could be working. Okay, I put it on strings. Yeah. It makes pretty much the sound broken, but you can use it. Phase distortion is not working, but wave shaping is. Of course, it works best on simply a sinus waveform. You can make a lot of waveforms this way. Yeah, then we have here also presets. It's insane what is possible with BLUE-3. Don't you agree? So this is also inside of it. In BLUE-3, the wave shaping and phase distortion on a waveform. And of course, this landed in a different way in Quad and in RAW, where we also use this synthesis feature. But yeah, we have the basic waveforms, but yeah, you see. Because we have also the analog model waveforms, and you could really good analog sounds. And of course, I mentioned a few times or played a few times from the pads where I use essentially, let me see if I can find it. Ambient Solina GP pad. That one is built up essentially by creating different synthesis together. So we have an oscillator 2, it's gray waveform. There's pulse width modulation. We use 3 and 4. And as you maybe notice, oscillator 2 goes to filter 1. Oscillator 3 and 4 go to filter 2. So they have a different setting. So these essentially are already two stacked sounds within one preset. And on top of that, I put in the Solina strings, but the Solina string doesn't go to a filter. It directly goes into FX1. Then you have the big pad sound. Isn't that cool? So it's really way cool in what you can do. And of course the Solina, this is a real sample from a Solina strings. I did create these samples myself. Lovely to combine this with synthesis, isn't it? The CS plus Solina pad. CS is a little bit to the CS-80, so you got a big brassy sound, I think, or really a big. And that combined with the Solina string. nice, isn't it? So in terms of synthesis, insane. Really cool. Emulator plus GP pad. Yeah, emulator, we all know, of course, are the mothers of sampling. Emulator, Fairlight. And of course, inside BLUE-3, there are no 8-bit samples, but if you have a particular sound, which is a choir type thing, and you can combine it, you get really a sound which I would say, well, we did stack a Jupiter 8 together with a emulator type of vocal sound. So this is the pad part. So you see, I only switch off the choir sound, Oscillator 3, and suddenly you have a great pad. So don't be shy to put on off the oscillators in BLUE-3. That's one of the great ways to discover new sounds. Simply put off one or more oscillators. And of course the choir sound, that's this one, number 3. And of course, what you also, but I told that many times, is that the main volume envelope is always visible, except for in the manager page and in the sample page. In the other pages, you see, it's always visible, because if you're working with sounds, these are the things where you grab a lot of times to make maybe the attack slower or faster. Or slower and going to an ambient space back, slow attack time and long release. See a whole different sound, and if I would do this, attack short, release short. Totally different sound. So therefore, this one is very important. Also, if you have a sequence sound, okay, this one doesn't have a sequence sound, go to the manager, sequence sounds. Watch what happens here. Wave sequentos. I just pick one preset. Go to the main. Make it shorter. You see, it has a lot of influence on the rhythm feel. So that could be useful. go to the next preset. Wave sequence dust. Let's see what happens. Hey, this is also cool. Short. Okay. Okay. Ain't that cool? Just by changing with the sequence sound. It's same for the arpeggiator sound as well, by the way. If you go to the arpeggiator sounds, go fast to the bank manager, got the same story. See, so BLUE-3, by just controlling and editing the envelope, the amp envelope, which is having the final words in how the sound has its contour in the volume, is perfect. Or by switching things off, well, the oscillators, what we did before. So let's see. These are one of the. This one really has melody. Okay, let me see. Where's the chat room? Because I missed a little bit of the chat room because I was playing and having fun. Let me see. Oh yeah, there's something weird going on with my webcam. It's strange. You see this webcam. I think my microphone is a little bit higher in position now. I should show a little bit lower so that you don't see the microphone I'm using. This one is a 920, and if I put it on a different USB port on the back of my computer, it doesn't show up. That one is a very stubborn one, and this one on top is a 930, so it's a higher number, but it's fuzzy, but for a very unclear reason. So you see my hands playing, but it's unsharp. I'm not sure why it is doing it. So I'm always having a little bit of battle. The Logitech webcams are not bad at all, but they do some odd stuff so now and then. Okay, checking the chat room. If I missed something. If you have a question about BLUE-3, what we have planned in the future, because you can see it up here, we have still could have a button here, is that we do the same as we did with the Predator 3. And Predator 3 has this here, the special page, where you have the intelligent preset variation generator, or AI version, and preset morphing. So these two features we like to do also in Predator, this feature in Predator 3, which is an intelligent way of preset variation, or you can morph between two different presets and create a new preset, is that we add that in BLUE-3 as well over time. But we first need to investigate how it will work best, because what I don't like is that if you play a variation and you get a R2D2 sound each time. So it should be musical useful. So it's a bit more, it's not a random machine thing, which you sometimes see on a synthesizer where you can press random. I really hate that, because very often it's simply only generating a new effect sound. Yeah, the aspect ratio is not 16:9. Would that be the problem? Oh, okay, I'm not sure. Is it what I'm streaming? Yeah, good question. I need to look into it, because the rest is sharp, isn't it? So the rest of the things is looking sharp. So the screen is sharp, I think, and it's only the keyboard. And if I open the menu of it, and I can show it to you. You can see it. Oh, that's the full picture, but yeah, see, it hangs over the keyboard. Maybe it's just confused by the screen. Oh, it's really... Oh, here are all the settings. I can press default, but that doesn't make any difference. Oh, then it goes to Elgato. No, I want to have this one again. Yeah. It's for some reason, I think the problem is in the sharpness. Okay, that could be a reason. Oh, that's a good one. Should be a way. Configure video. Okay, camera control. Sharpness. Okay, maybe I can... Oh, it doesn't want to adjust that. Strange. Yeah, it's totally strange. Yes. Oh, now I can do manual focus. And then it's way slow. Let's make some drama sounds to it. Uh-oh. Yeah. It doesn't get it right. Strange it is. I have to figure this out. That's not a big deal. It was better before. 8-bit hands, I see. That's a good one. Yeah, it's 10 bits. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 bits. Okay, let's back to Predator and BLUE-3. So synth Wait. That's obvious a sample. Yeah, and funny if you use the feedback. You can use on a sample. some very funny stuff. And what is cool in BLUE-3 is if you have a sample, you still can use the sub-oscillator. Yeah, there's so many cool sounds inside of it. These are the lead sounds and of Tega lead. Combinations. Oh, this is like the War of the Worlds sound. I don't know the melody, but the sound reminds. Nice with the sinus waveform. Already cool, isn't it? And here you can also say, go polyphonic. And what is also inside BLUE-3, we have the multi-control, multi-polyphonic expression, and then you can lock this. That is nice, so you don't have to put each preset to the polyphonic expression and can go through the presets if you use the a polyphonic expression keyboard. Okay, guys, this was a little bit for today. I hope you enjoyed it. So if you work with BLUE-3, put on off some of the oscillators while playing, adjust decay, release, sustain, attack while playing a sound, and you will be surprised how many different cool new sounds you will discover. What are your audio settings? Well, the audio settings are for streaming, which is in the, I think the highest option I use, because otherwise you really have high frequencies. Yeah, with streaming, it's a bit tricky on audio quality. So if the streaming will be very fast, you get very bad, we say that, very bad high frequencies, lower bit rate they then are using for the audio, which would be pity. Okay, guys, we go out today with a demo. Yes, has been sent to me. Okay. Moon landing. Okay. Need to see. Song for the live stream. It's a DJTH production. I put not his name inside it so you don't see it. It's called Moon Landing, and he uses Punch, Blue, and Predator. It's based on School of Berlin Deep House. So we have a great demo from DJTHproductions.com. He is in the chat room. Give him a thumbs up, and we're going to play it, and we go out with music from him. And we hope, of course, that you also will enjoy it just like me. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Spread the word about the live streams. Each Thursday we are around here, 8 o'clock local time, Amsterdam time. We are back then next week. So we go out with Moon Landing, and DJTH Production, thanks for sending it.